All right, welcome to True Tempo. This is kind of a special edition where I'm battling Izzet Delver against the world. This is the first edition of hopefully several where I pilot my current Izzet Delver build against Ecobaronen, which is also in layman's terms called Andreas, a friend of mine, a close friend. And he'll be playing different decks against my Izzet Delver. So today it's we have grouped the pairings in different similar decks. So he's playing Dimir Reanimator, Dimir Tempo, and Izzet Cutter today. So this is kind of the a kind of cantrip special. And I'm just gonna do a short deck tech on why my build is like it is. I like this is kind of the Juju Bean style Delver, except I'm not playing green. Instead, I'm playing one cutter in the main and one in the sideboard. I haven't tried this before, but the idea is that it's kind of a grindy slot, and it serves a similar role as the Druids in its ability to make card advantage during, or kind of relative card advantage during the course of a game, being good against removal mostly. But also being a card that doesn't rely on the graveyard, which is sweet. And like this kind of deck is awesome. I think in an open field, it's also sweet against Red Stompy, but it is a bit difficult, especially against Dimir Tempo. So I want to be able to board out Delvers and Force of Wills, and for that reason, I have the Hearses alongside the Cutter to still have some threats post board when I bought out the Delver. And beyond that, I have a couple of Spell Pierces to help me against all kinds of combo and Stompy. And it's kind of a flex slot, which is useful in most matchups, I think. So I have kind of a test here is the third Brazen. The idea being that I can bounce a Chalice, a Murktide, and a Bergoyf. This is would also could have been a kind of Unholy Heat slot, something that deals with Bergoyf, but I'm hoping that I can simply bounce it, and if nothing else happens, attack with a 3/1. So that's what I'm trying. I like Brazen Borrower more than most. Let's see if how this pans out. But otherwise, it's a classic list, so I won't go into more detail. Let's play some games. All right, let's go. Izzet Delver against the world, against Andreas Ecobaronen, and so the first game I know we know the matchups, and so I know I'm up against Reanimator in the first one. This is kind of like the setting is yeah, he changed his avatar. He says that it's the local end boss or something, that you know what deck they play, but you don't know the exact list. I'm gonna keep this. This is not awesome because I don't have a 1-drop, but it's serviceable. It's not a hand I'll ever throw back, I think, against basically any deck. So first turn, I think I'm actually gonna surveil. Um, I don't mind that. Maybe I'll brainstorm if he thought seizes me, because I have two. I have a lot of gas. I'm not necessarily looking to optimize my brainstorms in the old brainstorm fetch kind of way. That might not be necessary. Okay, so he's doing nothing. That could smell like Entomb. That's definitely what should be on my radar. Don't need another land. Okay, I'll be brainstorming. Nice. So these wastelands are probably bad. Um, but maybe they're better than a third island. I guess so. So I'm just gonna play Volcanic Chandler Bauble. Now he's getting the C. Okay. So I could be in trouble here. He's dazing. Okay. Okay. That's interesting. Um, so he must have a slow draw since he cares about my threat. Next turn I can play a Murktide and waste. So let's see what he. What did he? I don't know if he thought about what he put on top. Not really. Maybe he did. But I assume that the second card is a bad card, so no, there's no reason to check the second card really. But the fact that he has waste-proof land is strong. I mean, playing the Wasteland means at least he can't get a Surveil, so I think that's something. I'm gonna play this game not being too afraid of Entomb Reanimate right now. Thinking that he would have played differently if he had the combo already. Sure, he brainstormed, so things could have changed. Does nothing. Okay, so he was hoping to Surveil, I think. And okay, nice slow draw looks like, and I can waste him. I don't know the top of my deck, so since I have at least one dud, I think I should try and optimize and brainstorm. But it's close. Let's see what we draw before we think too much about that. But the fact that depending if he has plenty of lands, it doesn't really matter. But if he has few lands, getting one C wasted can make it hard for him to just go basic here. He would have to have another fetch to go with it to go double basic, but that's actually quite likely. So this is just for the time being, we can just be happy that the one waste is service in service, and maybe we can find a Daze to back that up. That's kind of the best case scenario between the draw step and the brainstorm is finding Daze and a blue card, and basically getting him to 7 before he can reanimate Atraxa. Daze, awesome. So in that case, I feel like I'm gonna wait. Because playing this Wasteland is actually decent. Since, once again, I think he wants to Surveil. Which he now can't. If he entombs, I'm gonna Daze it. Mostly because Daze might be turned off at a later point in time. I have basically 2 attack steps to go, or he has to find Brazen to bounce or animate dead to go with an entomb. So 2 attack steps, that's not too much when he doesn't have anything like already in the yard. Resolving a Brazen is gonna be a bit tough. Yep, he does nothing. So he wants to get rid of the card. Getting a basic, I assume. Yeah. Okay, he can get his island. Okay, nothing. Let's see if we can draw more blue cards. Okay, awesome. Couldn't ask for more. And still, this is so good that I don't want to. I don't want to brainstorm. It could hardly get better. Like, I just need basically one attack in, and then his combo plan is gone. So now, when he has Island, he kind of needs. I think I prefer to make him spend his mana on his turn. So what if he plays a land and thoughts seizes me? If he plays a land and thought seizes me, well, then I have double Daze. I think I'm gonna let that go. I can also brainstorm into a bolt, theoretically. He has the animate dead. Okay, sweet. So now I can start by double dazing. Gonna go for a red here. So I can brainstorm into bolt, theoretically. But I think he's gonna force, and I'm gonna force. Well, he can't force, since yeah, it's animated, so he can. So if he has force, I'll force back, and then let's see if he has another one. At this point, so beating his 3 cards, I think I could brainstorm and hope to find more, but I think that's kind of risky, so I'm just gonna do like this and hope he doesn't have the double force. He didn't. Okay, awesome. Since the animate dead is gone, I think he needs Murktide now. Basically, and against Murktide, this is not doing it. It's okay against Brazen, but Brazen I can just replay. So Murktide, bounce. Okay. Now he could easily have a Daze. I think I can play around Daze, and I want to play around Daze. So I'm just gonna bolt this and not give him any kind of up like advantage in the card drawing. Okay, he wants to waste me. Place threat, waste me. So if I get dazed, it's still really bad. So not gonna do that. I'm not gonna let him get that edge. He can Thoughtseize me, but then he's dead to Bolt, which is a good place to be for me, I think. Okay, awesome. So now I can protect my Murktide. Now he needs, well, his own Murktide. I can bounce. He can jump one turn. Okay, sweet. So, the #1 deck in the format. Let's see if like getting the win on the game 1 is sweet. Game 2 is not necessarily easier because they bring in the Bargoyfs. So I have this this funky plan that involves Brazen for like the third Brazen, which you almost never see, and the thinking being that it can handle Murktide and buy a turn against Bargoyf. I don't like I think shooting it with Unholy Heat is definitely better than nothing, but bouncing it so they have to replay it instead of being able to reanimate it, I think can be just as good in different scenarios. And it takes Murktide and it attacks. So, but let's see if it's too clunky. That's definitely the argument against. So here I can take out armor on the draw. I can take out a Wasteland, at least one, but I think I'll just take out one. I think I like having a cutter. I can cut a bolt. Now I have 3 bolts, 3 Pyroblast. I think I might be cutting more even. Daze on the draw is really not that good. And let's see, 2 last cuts. I think in my plan it's a bolt and a Wasteland, but it could also be the Dazes. Thing is, Daze is decent against Bargoyf, so having some in the deck, I don't mind. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of 1 bolt and the 1 Wasteland. Okay. This is kind of the risk being I'm a bit soft to Temio with 5 answers, but I think 5 should be okay. Plus Pyroblast being so good, even if they flip, I think it's a deal breaker. This hand is not keepable, unfortunately. It's close. Neither that one. And we're on 5, so we're gonna keep. And how are we gonna? I think Cutter is our hope. Heat, Ponder, I guess, yeah. And so basically, yeah, I'm soft to everything since I didn't have a bolt in that starting hand. Well, at least now I can get a good turn 2. So now I'm just gonna play Chandler and say go. Hope they don't have Bowmasters. But yeah. Now I guess my draw could be quite aggressive. If they don't have a Daze for my Cutter, then we're going somewhere. Okay. We have issues. The Temio Plus here is tough. See if they have the Daze as well. Then I think the game is basically over. I do get two surveil. Yeah. Guess if I draw a fetch land, we might have Delirium. They don't have the land though. That's nice. And let's see. Let's see if we can get there. Okay, that in the bin. They have the Daze. Okay. Murktide. Is that maybe a way to win this game? 1, 2, 3. It could be. I think they're gonna tick up. I'm pretty close to thinking about upkeep bolt. No, that's weak. I'm gonna ponder for land, I think. Okay, nice. Dum dum dum. So timing on this. Gonna ponder first. Okay. Like the force might be clutch down the road. Because then I just need. I have to get this Murktide to resolve now. And then if I draw, then I can bolt to get a surveil to impair my force. I think, well, maybe Brazen is just as good because with his island here, maybe I think my opponent is more likely to be on a Murktide than on a combo. So I'm gonna keep the Brazen. This is not the biggest Murktide ever, unfortunately. To say the least, but it's enough to keep us in the game if we like against Temio Ultimate. Can also bounce that one, but I think I should try and attack it. So maybe they're gonna go for a value ponder here and just accept that it's going down. Yeah. They got the Daze. Okay. To protect the Murktide, they're gonna play, no? What do they have? They bounce. At least now I can bolt Temio. Don't hate that. Ah, okay. They discard a card. Okay. Not bad, not bad. Now I'm gonna get a surveil. I'm just gonna bolt here to get a good card in my draw step. guess that is a good card in the sense that I need to get some beatdowns going. But what would I prefer? Yeah, I think this is fine. Together, the two channelers are gonna go to Delirium pretty fast. Now, like if they play Bergoyf, can bounce and maybe go to Delirium. Yeah, it's gonna be tough if they play a Bergoyf. Like then I can bounce and try to find a Daze. Okay, that's if they Brainstorm. Then I'm gonna be bouncing that, I guess. Because it's gonna, yeah, just to get to Delirium, really. I just need a land or a ponder. Maybe I should just take the draw. Because if I just get a land, then I can attack for 4. And then I have a card here. Maybe they have a push. Another Temio. Huh. I have to think about this. The Temio means, well, actually now, I feel like I should bounce the creature Temio. Yeah. Yep, that's nice to get in the graveyard and not in the deck. Awesome. Like, because it protects me against Murktide. Now I can attack the Temio. Basically, afraid of the combo, afraid of Bergoyf, but not so much else, I think. Even if they have, I don't think they would go for Atraxa, but if they did, Parablast could save the day. Like, if they play just Temio, it's not that strong, since they're taking a lot of damage. They're thinking a lot. What are they thinking about? If they want to play into Daze with their Bergoyf, or if they can wait, just play a Temio and draw a card. That's a tough spot, for sure. Because if they get dazed, they're so close to losing the game. Ponder, okay. So I guess they're looking for the combo. Maybe being okay to used one reanimate, but they might have more. They shuffle. And then what? Temio, Brainstorm. Okay. I think that means that they're really looking for the combo, and I actually want to counter this. Do I believe in that? Not really. That is good. Did they have more Dazes? They played one. Oh yeah, sorry, I know they have Daze. That's stupid. They brought it back. They could have canceled it away with Brainstorm, but I kind of missed that. Maybe that was silly playing into the Daze here. Yeah, yeah. That gives some. Yeah, that was a bad play. I just forgot they brought back the Daze. There's no reason to yeah, to let them get another land drop basically here. Meaning that they can Entomb Reanimate. I have 0 cards. So that's opening the door wide. Okay, creature in the yard, maybe? Thoughtseize. Okay. So now with my bolts, they're really close to... So what is the next turn gonna be? Do I want to save? I think I'm not gonna play my 3-1 this turn. And hope that I can... If they play a Bergoyf, they're gonna play it around Daze. So I will be... They Thoughtseize. Huh. They Thoughtseize. I think that means that they're going for a big play. Um, a big play. And I don't think the 3-1 is gonna cut it. Against that Unholy Heat might. So I'm gonna bet on that. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. So which one is better? Well, Brazen gets rid of everything. Like they must be going for a... Yeah. So I'm just gonna put Heat, Brazen, and they can discard my Daze. Petty Theft. That's not so strong. Okay. Okay, okay. In that case, I'm just attacking, replaying Chandler. Yeah. They have 1 card. They can play this to block. Can they flip? That's pretty strong. Okay. So let's see. I think I'm just gonna attack. Yeah. But I'm gonna heat that one. And that's fine. On my top. So now they have to jump. And I can bounce whatever they play. Not bad, not bad. Murktide doesn't get there. Okay, sweet. TueBo against Reanimator. They didn't really present much of a, like, they didn't present the combo or a Murktide or Barragoyf, so that made it feel easy, even though it took some time. But maybe I was in bigger jeopardy than I thought during all that. Sweet. Well, see you for round 2 of this triathlon of Izzet Delver against the world. All right, and round 2 of this first series, and I have to check what Andreas is playing actually, because it's not a secret. He's playing Cutter, so it's kind of the mirror. Can't keep that. No, we'll keep that and get rid of. Well, get rid of like force, since I have one. No, I'm gonna get rid of a force and hope to. Well, no, I'm gonna actually. Question is, can I afford forcing when I'm? I think I can afford to force once. And I already have a lot of lands. So I'm gonna get rid of a land and accept that I'm forcing a cutter in this game. Delver, okay. Yeah, this is very close to being a mirror because they also played Delver. Okay. So let's just get the trading going on. Like the Delver's diet at a high rate in these mirrors. They're not really worth holding on to. Just if they get dazed, it's okay, especially early. Later, of course, you can play around it. What really matters is lands, not having 0 lands. Okay, the Daze. I'm happy about that. Kind of. Never. Well, it's not my style to protect in that spot. Like I can find removal for his Delver, and I can find other threats. But the fact that I kind of okay, they have a really aggressive Delver draw here. Like this is scary. This is scary. Now I am. This is too much actually. Now I risk getting dazed. Yeah. And we're in trouble. Big trouble. Okay, let's find some removal. And plenty of it. Murktide could do it. Murktide could actually do it. Yeah. I don't hate that. And backup land. Yeah. I assume they flip, but you never know. I certainly need that help here. If they don't flip, yeah, wow. Let's see. If they play a cantrip, I'm going to pierce it. Even though I lose my 3rd land, but that means they're not wasting me. And wow, okay. Now I guess I have I have a Pierce on a Force at the ready. The size is not impressive because they can trade with the bolts. No flips, wow. That means they're drawing lands or creatures. They have plenty of creatures so far. They probably have, yeah, been drawing creatures, but this could easily be a land. We know they have, okay, maybe that was the draw. If they have a Murktide here, I'm not happy. Do I try and find a Daze? I think so. Okay, sweet. How big is that? Well, I don't have Delirium, so it doesn't matter. Just gonna put Heat here. What a game. I'm pretty far away from being able to attack. Let's see the timing on... I mean, they're gonna attack. They want to trade. I think I'm just gonna do this now when they don't have mana up. Still no flips. Wow, that's crazy. Maybe I can pierce a cutter. Wow. My god. So what am I drawing? A Brainstorm? I think I'm just gonna have to kind of slog my way through these. But it also means that they get closer to Murktide. Yeah. Now if I can find my second Murktide soon, then I'll be in business. Great. So I guess I am, it's not this turn. Oh yeah, it is this turn because Brainstorm. Yeah, perfect. And they showed me they don't have the Daze. So they could have the Waste, but okay. They could have the Force, sorry. I think I said something else. Are we live? We are alive. Wow. Now they're in huge trouble. If they flip a bolt, they don't flip. That's crazy. Wow. That is unbelievable, that game. They were not in luck. Oh, Jesus Christ. Let's see. So these cards are good. Brazen should be good. And could board in hers for Chandler and Murktide. Like, maybe 2 is too much. I'm just gonna consider it. I want to be able to pay for days with my Wastelands. I don't mind shaving Baubles, especially if I'm bringing in hearses. Don't really like Force. I'm on the draw. I don't love Daze. I can see going down. Now the question is, all these 2 drops, I think that's a bit too much. Pierce is for Cutter. I don't hate this. Maybe I don't need the third Brazen. I think I don't, since I have Pyroblast. Yeah. Okay, let's see if this setup is good. I can keep. And my son is making sounds. I'm sure you can hear. He's sleeping in a sling in front of my stomach, so to say, at my chest. Delver, yeah. Now I could Wasteland. They mulliganed. I don't hate it. I don't hate it because they mulligan. They might have chosen to keep few lands. That's almost for sure. But maybe they only had one land. Okay, they did have a second. Okay, Preordain. And that tells me I didn't really know before for sure if they had cutters, but now I know for sure. Preordain, I think you only see in a cutter build. And what they do, one top, one bottom. I think I'm just gonna play a possible Surveil land and keep up Hydroblast. Might even be bouncing the Delver if nothing else happens. Next turn. Because can't take that much damage before getting in bolt range. Cutter, okay, sweet. And I'm gonna get a Volcanic. Because if not, I think the Wasteland is just gonna isolate them. So I can't Murktide yet, but I can bounce. And this showed me they don't have like another land. Well, it doesn't necessarily show me. Maybe they just want to develop it so they can double waste me next turn. In which case, one island is actually good. Let's see. Maybe I shouldn't be too afraid of taking 3. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna Brainstorm. Yeah, see if I can find a bolt. Okay, nice. So I'm gonna bolt, and like one Wasteland is good. I have a lot of threats. If I get one, I think I just get rid of that one. Do I need force? I guess I don't. I guess I don't really need force. So Cutter is my backup threat. Now I imagine, okay, and nothing, sweet. That's an easy time for Murktide. Now they might have the Pyroblast, but they also need the land in that case. Wasting me is something, but it's not awesome. Okay. And I can, So what is best here? I think hers is pretty sweet. I can even develop steam vents now. Because yeah. Sorry, just uh, had a thought at my son who was moving a bit. But yeah, they're hers now, so I can get Murktide under control before it has a chance to get into play. They shuffle, and it's over, he says. Sweet. Awesome. Tempo doing its thing. See you for the third and last round. So the third round is going to be against the toughest matchup of the three, I think. So it's Dimir Tempo with Nethergoyfs, Nihil Spellbombs, and so on. And there's so many. I'm on the play, by the way, and that changes quite a lot. Then I think this hand is it's not a good hand, but I believe in Ponder. Let me put it like that. I believe in Ponder and Brainstorm, and having 7 cards. I don't like the third Daze, of course, but now I know I can. Actually, I shouldn't have played it like. I should have drawn the Pierce. That's a mistake. That is a mistake because I'm playing against Thoughtseize now. And I actually have to Daze their Thoughtseize, I think. That's really poor because I could have ignored it instead. Okay, I am in luck. In very big luck. So now I play my Delver. I have a guaranteed flip if nothing else happens. A Daze that I won't be keeping. I have double Daze for Bowmaster, which is sweet. Just checking in on my son. I smell a Bowmaster coming. And of course I don't love double dazing here. Okay, they're gonna wait. So can we get there? Are they forcing? Then I can pierce. I mean, this spot couldn't get much better for me, actually. And they force once again. What are they pitching? Ponder and Kaito. Force on pierce. So now I have to. Now I don't have an assured. Flip. But a beautiful stack, indeed. That is sweet. Can we flip and be safe for future Bowmasters, please? No. Sad, sad face. Yeah. Sad, sad face. Like they double forced, so of course I'm kind of doing good here. Oh, Jesus Christ. Spellbomb is so good against me. Another one, and now I know they're gonna use the first one. So my Murktide is not long for this world. In the sense that I'm not gonna be able to play it ever. Like, that's not my game plan. I need threats. If I flip here, maybe I have a shot. Force. Sweet. Then Murktide has a job. I could have played the fetch there. I guess I should have played the fetch. Yeah. I should have played the fetch for sure. They are at 11. Tamio. Guess that's fine. Delva is pretty good. There's hope for this game. So at this point, like Bowmaster on Delver, I'd force Murktide, I'd force. I can't block. Hope they don't have Kaito. One is gone from when they pitched to force. They draw a card. Okay. They have 3 cards. I mean, when they find their push, do I force the push? It's tough. I think I do. Let's see if we dodge the Bowmasters. Awesome, lightning bolt. And we got there. Crazy. This is not a game I thought I was winning. Okay, getting the game 1 win against Dimir Tempo is extremely sweet. So the Hearses control the Nethergoyfs and their Murktides, so that's awesome. Pyroblast for Kaito and Murktide. The Heat for Baragoyf. The Cutter for grinding. And then I want to take out my Delvers and my Force of Wills. And the Brazen, that's the last card. This is one of the matchups that I thought the longest about, how to make a sideboard where I can do this, get rid of my Delvers and my Force of Wills. So I don't have actual bad cards against their Bowmasters and against just grinding. I'm pretty happy about this. I have to be careful to not get Chandler Bowmastered. But again, they have Nihil Spellbomb, so you never know. Spellbomb is really, really good in their deck. I hope they put some out. They mulligan, we do as well. Keep and... Keep and what? Get rid of a Brainstorm? I feel like I need the chance of a good turn 2 play. Okay, sweet. Like, that's fine, because then I don't... Like, Chandler will wait. Okay. I'll put that in the graveyard. It's a nice type to have in the graveyard. Bowmasters. Okay, sweet. In the sense that I can bolt that. It also smells like Kaito, however. Could also smell like they have more. If I Chandler, I think I want to Chandler Bolt. There's really no there's no guarantees of is there a timing? No. Need to find like a creature to get Delirium. Wasteland is maybe playable. That is not that good. Sweet. And we have Delirium. So now we can block. Do I risk? Risk them having another Bowmaster? I guess so. Since it doesn't kill the Chandler. Yeah, here it is. Here it is. Now I can't block. Maybe this is reason enough for me not choosing that timing. Yeah. Okay, double Wasteland. So now at least I'm getting somewhere. But like this is a problem, of course. Murktide is pretty sweet. And like in their upkeep, I'm gonna use the hearse. Let's see if they can wasteland me. But if I can play a Murktide around Daze, then I am feeling pretty good. Brainstorm, okay. This hearse is not dangerous yet. Yeah, I think this is the turn that will decide the game. It's pretty close now, but if I can kind of survive between Spellbomb and Wasteland, then I think I have a shot. My threats are pretty good at attacking and blocking. I'm not too close to dying, but if I get Wastelanded or Spellbound, then it's over. Which is pretty interesting. If they have a Spellbound, they can get the card. So let's see how they go about that. This is just a cantrip. Hydroblast. Okay. Okay. Not bad, but not too scary. Once again, it's small. Small Murktide. I I had F6 there. I shouldn't have F6, but okay, fair enough. I got lucky, but I needed to act on their upkeep. So, can we start attacking? Trading 4, not really. Not really, right? Um, hmm. It's a 3-turn clock. I can't pump my Murktide. I think I have to wait. But it's close. No, actually, I think I can attack because if they attack, then I have a 6 power. Yeah, it's damn close, but this also opens up that I can draw. I don't know. Don't really have a creature to draw that actually crews. But on board, I'm winning. And yeah, if I can like, there's just a lot of things that can happen with Hearse and Murktide as well. Different ways. It's difficult to calculate for them. They go in. Do they have more plays? They have a lot of cards. Tempo, that's a jump blocker. Pretty good. And a land. Okay. Chandler. That's also, I guess, a jump blocker. Do I believe in it? I think it gets pushed any day of the week. I think it gets pushed any day of the week. Hmm. This is tough. I think I'm gonna go in. I shouldn't have played the Chandler, by the way. I think now they know I don't have the bolt, but maybe that could have been a bait. They have a Brainstorm. That is really, really strong. They have a push. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I can win this game anymore. At least I can block the Bowmasters if they don't have a push, but yeah. This is tough. these cantrips. If I had a bolt, I would be playing Magic, but it's I'm really locked out by the Bowmasters. He's thinking. One sec. Yeah, just like that. Sure. I have to take it. Kind of hope to draw bolts to maybe get there if they have nothing. And of course they don't have nothing. Hmm. Hmm. Dum dum dum. Guess I play the Murktide once again. I don't know. I feel like I lose to everything here. Hmm. Maybe I should have pondered, but I considered pondering, and the channeler would grow to Delirious. But even if I find a bolt, I don't think it's good enough because then I'm at 2. This is a 4/4. And I'm not close enough to winning. I kind of need removal on Bowmasters to enable a Brainstorm, and then get Delirium and find another bolt. I think something like that. Okay. I mean, that also takes Temio, so it's not an impressive play. Huh. Okay, yeah, they're forcing that we trade. I mean, it's probably good enough, but if I draw a bolt, we have a game. I don't. Okay. Okay. That was a special game. It took a long time for something that seemed, yeah. I guess it was just thin margins. So I'm on the play. Nothing changes. 4 days on the play can be awesome. I have some good 2-drops. Yeah, I'm optimistic. I feel like this is a 40-60% matchup, something like that. So being here on the play in game 3 is pretty ideal. But still, their tools are so good. So yeah, let's see what we can do. Okay, nice. This is a hand that has a good chance of playing a Bowmaster-proof Chandler when he gets to turn 2. Wasteland, sure, we don't count on that being good. Tempo, I guess I'm dazing that. If that's what they play. Okay, can we get to Delirium? We have instant. I don't want another Daze, I think. It's too much. Can they protect it? No. Okay, so now it's crunch time, in the sense that I'm gonna play the falls to get another chance of Delirium. Do you think Pierce is good? Not really, with all this dazing going on. At least it feeds Murktide. If they just play a Tempo here, guess that's fine. Okay. Now I can play a strong Murktide. They put a Ponder into the graveyard. Murktide is decent against them. Oh, it's pretty good. They have maybe 4 answers max. Three mana. What's that? Bergoyf. Ponder before. Okay, let's see if this Daze can save our butts. Oh yeah, sweet. Now we are cooking. Even though our hand is atrocious. But I think that was a really bad attack actually, because no, it wasn't a bad attack. It was a good attack because that my thinking was maybe they don't block, being afraid of Unholy Heat. Yeah, I think that's worth it, kind of. And here I'm piercing just about anything. This is the classic Kaito moment, and Kaito taking Murktide down. Ponder. Can I actually think I want to pierce here. I want to make it so that Tempo doesn't flip. I want to find good cards by triggering Chandler. Just want to buy some time. Hearse. Hearse. Don't think that's good enough. It's too slow. I kind of might do nothing. I need to find a Brainstorm, and I'm in business. Brainstorm, and we're in business. They like that card. Okay. And they are blocking. If they're blocking, I guess I am Parablasting. somehow clicked the wrong creature. I somehow didn't click the Tameo. Jesus Christ. That's a silly mistake. And I'm suggesting that we just play on. We're discussing how to. Okay, so I guess me killing the Tameo was good enough to win the game. Okay, see you for the closing thoughts.
All right, we are back with the recap. We just had a 3-match series. I played Reanimator, my version of Cutter, and Blue-Black Tempo, and I played against my awesome friend TueBo, who just started a YouTube channel. So the free plug is here. Where can people find you here just before we get things underway?
Thanks, Andreas. Yeah, I'm True Tempo on YouTube. On Twitter, it's True Tempo. And there's an awesome range of 3 videos so far, more or less.
What a huge bag of candy here. Okay, I see.
Yeah. The weekend is assured for all Legacy Tempo lovers.
Yeah, I mean, perfect. So Friday entertainment is secured, and now we got a little bit of a Thursday morning entertainment. So we agreed that it would be cool for you to play your current favorite version of classic Tempo, and I would kind of play 3 quote unquote similar decks against you as some kind of a gauntlet. The details were essentially we picked versions we would sign up to a tournament with. So it's not like I was like, oh yeah, let me play 4 Bowmasters in my Reanimator deck because I'm going to be playing against this guy, right? So trying to be true to that, but still play with somewhat open, not open deck list, but open archetype. So yeah, maybe we should talk a little bit about the first matchup. You knew it was going to be Reanimator, so I remember you won the die roll. Like, what's your mindset? You sit down across for a known Reanimator player. Like, what are you looking to do with your deck?
Like, I really want to put a threat into play because my game plan is winning or getting you to like 7 or 8 life before you can reanimate one of your big guys. So I feel like the late game is clearly in your favor if I don't get some aggressive beats going. And beyond that, I have 2 Spell Pierce in my deck, which is kind of there to give me some playing space against your combo.
Yeah.
Then I also have to respect your Murktide, of course. But yeah, I want an aggressive hand. I can't play a long game against you, just dirtling with cantrips.
Yeah. So if I recall correctly, I was trying this game to maneuver having enough life total and then finishing with an enemy dead. So I had a pretty cool hand of Force of Negation, Force of Will, and 2 blue cards. So when I initiated the fight on the end step here, and you let it resolve, I was like, oh shoot, either I'm like super cooked, or you're trying to play quote unquote smart with a bolt draw. So I was actually quite confident going into my turn, but then when the second Daze arrived, I was like, okay, yeah, you got me here. Like you're gonna get me good here. How did you kind of evaluate this Entomb on the stack versus my deck construction, my life total? Like, what was it like from your side?
I think what was important for me there was that you had an island. So I was thinking, like, I had double Daze and Force blue card, which was a Brainstorm, which could theoretically dig for a bolt in that case if that came up. But
Yep.
I wasn't planning on that as a plan A. But the fact that you had an island and a swamp meant that if you're gonna go Entomb and then Thoughtseize Reanimate, you kind of need a lot of cards to line up. Plus, that means that my Dazes should be good because you're using a lot of mana. If you had the animate dead, then the Dazes are good anyways. But I didn't count on that since it's a low probability.
Yeah.
So I wanted to have you spend your black mana on your turn because I was thinking it's going to be this turn, and that's going to seal the game.
Yes.
So I don't want to fight now.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. And also, I didn't even have life to Thoughtseize. I think I was at 9 or 10, one of the two. At least I didn't have the life. It was animate dead or bust or play reanimate into Bolt being lethal.
Yeah. Well,
so
you could Thought's animate that, but yeah.
Yeah,
Thought's yeah.
Flooded Animate Dead was possible for sure. So yeah, I think this is just a good lesson of, if you hear it on some podcast, oh yeah, fight over the Entomb because they have 5 reanimation spells. Like, there's so many detailed layers to this. And because Daze was your interaction and I was under so much pressure, and that was the showdown of the game. If I succeed, I win. If I don't succeed, I lose, right? It was the critical showdown of the game, I would argue. Then it's just good to make me spend the extra mana, essentially. So this is, I guess, the equivalent to don't counter the tutor, but this here you actually had good reasons to not counter the tutor because you wanted me to spend more mana, right? So yeah, that exchange was terrible for me. That matchup was a little bit weird. I think game 2, I drew 4 Tamios, 4 Brainstorms, 4 Thoughtseizes. I just did a whole lot of nothing. I was churning. I couldn't really get my feet on the ground, and I believe this is the game you mulligan to 5. So what I said from my side was, when the Delver deck mulls to 5, they don't have the luxury to have prioritized interaction. Like, I'm not going to get bolted, I'm not going to get Wastelanded, I'm not going to get forced. You simply don't have that luxury. You will be playing threats. So I knew from the get-go that I needed to develop and do stuff. But yeah, I mean, when you're turn 2 Brainstorm bricks, it's a tough one, a tough day at the office. So yeah, how do you approach the mulligan to 5? Am I spot on here?
I was like, I had to, I think I bottomed Unholy Heat and an extra land or something, and just tried to make a condensed aggressive draw.
Yeah.
And try to beat some of your deck, but I couldn't plan on beating all of your deck. So I think I was if you have a quick combo, I can't beat that, but I can beat a Burgoyf, I can beat a Murktide. And I can't beat removal and Tameo. There's a lot of stuff I can't beat, but at least I have a draw that makes sense. And because you gave me the time, it was good enough for a win. But I was definitely not counting on that.
No, but this is a good lesson, right? So when you're behind from the get-go odds-wise, you cannot just say, oh, let me keep this Wasteland, or let me keep this Bolt, or let me keep this Pyroblast. You have to kind of pick a lane here, and I think the creatures are the only viable option. If you start interacting with me, we trade cards. That's so good for the 7-card hand compared to the 5-card hand. So I think the only way you can win that game is by me not having a good draw, obviously, and then you being aggressive and punishing me for it, giving me less time, essentially.
Yeah, it's a kind of a rare occurrence in Magic, but it does happen on a daily basis if you play enough these kind of games where you just have to keep believing, and sometimes you get there.
Yeah, exactly. I like that a lot. Focus on what you actually can beat instead of giving yourself a false sense of I guess I was in this game for 6 turns. But yeah, from the get-go, you have important decisions to make. Then next up, we were on to my version of a Cutter. So I started off. I had an awesome draw. I had double Delver, double Daze. How can I possibly lose? I don't remember this game. What transpired? How could I possibly lose with that awesome draw?
Yeah, it was crazy because it was I played a Delver that you dazed, and I was like, that's fine. Delvers, they trade off in the mirror. I'm kind of happy that you give me the play land-wise by dazing and a 1-drop early. Then you had another Delver, and I was like, huh. I'd kept, I believe I mulliganed actually to 6 here.
I think you mulliganed and forced the Delver.
Yeah, and then I'd chosen to keep 2 forests instead of 1 force and a 3rd land, because I was like, I can't get rid of both of these forces, but let's assume that they have a Cutter draw that is really Cutter and nothing else.
Yeah.
Then I force that, and we have a game.
Yeah.
Then when you play the second Delver, I'm like,
yeah, it's time.
That's dangerous. So and then you daze my force, so now I'm completely sure.
Yeah, how can I possibly lose that game?
It's over. And then I cantrip. I see a Murktide, and I'm like, okay, maybe I can stonewall you with a Murktide.
Yeah,
and that's what happened. You never flipped. It's crazy. I guess you drew more Delvers than lands.
I drew 4 Delvers, a couple of lands, even 2 Baubles to help try and flip them. So,
but not flip.
Yeah, that was not ideal. So your Murktide stabilizes. and I believe you draw your second Murktide. Yeah, you draw your second Murktide. I never flip the Delvers. You draw your second Murktide, and then all of a sudden you win because I just draw some bricks. That was just probably never going to happen again. But it was a cool game of you give yourself the chance. You have to, you fire a Force Will on a freaking Delver because otherwise you're doing that because your only chance is I draw bricks and you get time to draw nut bricks essentially, right? So even though getting dazed there is incredibly punishing in 99 out of 100 games, I think that was the coolest thing of our run here. That there's a lot of these. I'm not going to necessarily say unique games, but very very special and corner case games. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, definitely. It felt like a lot of weird, but it's like part of Magic, but it's like the small minority of games.
Yeah.
But it also like forcing there. So I got dazed, but that also means that my Murktide didn't get dazed. And of course, you can't plan for that. I didn't know that the Murktide was coming. But it's just part of these Daze matchups that sometimes you have to eat a Daze at some point where it hurts, but later then maybe you'll reap the rewards of having more lands or having a threat that sticks. And it's part of the whole math that you can try to do.
Certainly. So speaking of Daze, I believe we let me put it this way. There was a situation, but that was the first match, right? Where I finally get to bounce your Murktide. You have 2 mana, but you don't replay it. I have 1 card left in hand. So talk to me about that from your POV.
Yeah, it was like low resource game, and as I remember, you didn't have a good Daze opportunity before. So I felt like there's a decent chance that it was a Daze. You would have played a lot of cards otherwise that could have been like active cards.
Yeah.
And the game was really down to so few cards that I felt like this Murktide was gonna win the game a big portion of the time. Postponing it because I had my land drops was a risk or like a price I was willing to pay.
Yeah.
To play around that potential Daze.
Right.
I feel like if I get dazed, the game is basically over for me because I don't have any more threats. It's not really over, but then I have to count on having good draws.
Yeah,
So
because I was at 4 this game, remember? So this was like me really slugging it out and having a Brazen Borrower in my exile, and that's about it. So it's basically just the price was right. The delaying yourself was the right 1 turn was the right price to pay because the difference between the Merc and not the Merc in play was so big, right?
Yeah, and it's hard to justify finding draws that make it better to just keep playing when you have the lands and not gas in hand.
Yeah, that was like super heads up, and it's pretty cool to have that from 2 POVs because I'm also rolling out the red carpet and calling you all sorts of names, starting the fan group and all of that stuff. That was just insane to see. So I loved that one. So after you crushed me when I was on Reanimator and Cutter, it was up to Dimir Tempo, right? So Dimir Tempo, you want to play against Red Tempo any day of the week. Not quite sure. I think I cast maybe 1 Fatal Push in the whole match and no Nethergoyfs, and it was it was super weird draws, like super weird draws. I don't know. How did it feel from your POV? Because you've obviously played against Dimir a lot.
Yeah, it's a bad matchup, like one of the worst, I think, and kind of the main reason why. I don't know if it's what other people think, but for me, it's the biggest reason to not play Izzet Delver is because Dimir Tempo is a big deck, pretty big, and feels like a 40-60 matchup. It's so bad. Like your spell bombs make channelers and Murktides weak to even to Bowmasters, and your Bowmasters are awesome against Delver. Your Kaitos are awesome against Murktide. I can't do much about it. Like I have Pyroblast in the board, but you have so many angles that punish me, and you get ahead. Your Nethergoyfs, I can't deal with them, and then your Barragoyfs afterboard. It's just awful. And these games, like we had a few Bowmaster games where you either made life hard or won by Bowmastering me.
Yeah.
You had a spell bomb that delayed my Murktide, which was otherwise I was really poised to win. You had a key turn where you need to find Wasteland or spell bomb, or something like that. Or maybe I'm mixing things up. But the spell bombs were relevant.
I had spell on my game where I had 1,000,000 lands and 2 spell bombs, and then but I could kind of slow down the game to some extent, right?
Mm. But yeah, it just felt like you never had or in a few spots, but mostly you didn't have the clutch advantage points at the
No,
ready.
I didn't have any. I didn't have any like none of the games. It's just kind of funny. None of my games, my deck played out as like not even medium, not even close to medium. I was scrapping every single game, like not flipping Delvers. Trying to, I guess the Reanimator game was maybe the closest one to like a normal game. Although I did win a match, win a game rather. I won one game, I think. That was the Bowmaster game where you got locked on cantrips, and I think I ended up finding a pretty interesting engineered explosives line where I killed my own Tameo. That was kind of a cool game.
Right. Yeah, that was a cool game, and even in that game, I feel like if I draw a removal spell early in that, then I'm winning still.
Yeah, I need you
So
to have mono blanks in like your hand and a couple of draw. Like it was not coasting at all. Like it was terrible. Really terrible.
And I don't know if I guess that's also what we're trying to elaborate here. But for the viewers, I don't think that you should go out and just like stop playing Dimir and play Izzet everyone, because it's not always like this.
What are you talking about? Yeah. You're gonna see a 3/4 Nethergoyf or somebody not missing their land drop or somebody playing. It's gonna happen for sure. But that's it's a big part of. Also, when people talk about, oh yeah, this matchup is like tough, but I actually think any matchup in Magic is like between 60-40. I'm not that interested. Like I don't believe in these like 90-10, or I don't believe in those narratives. So I believe in something can be slightly favored, but you still have to play the game, and you can still lose to triple Daze or double Wasteland or whatever, right? It's just part of what the tempo deck does. It can win unlikely situations with clutch timed disruption.
Yeah, and that's a good reason why, if you like playing some flavor of a deck, that is worth it. Just keep grinding and getting that advantage when you know where you know your deck and you know how to play, even if the metagame is slightly not favorable for that kind of deck, because maybe your playing skill will make you good enough and to get those small edges.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's a good lesson. I think that's going to do it for today. Hopefully we have more lined up for you guys in the future. TueBo on his Tempo adventure, and then I can run some gauntlets and see if I can take a match win off you next time.
Sweet. let's hope on that. I can't win every game. That's weird.
No, yeah, that would be a fake confidence, and I would be a bad friend. So
yeah.
With that said, that's going to do it for today. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Go check out True Tempo on YouTube, and yeah, I'll see you back next time.
All right, closing thoughts. Well, that worked out better than I had hoped for. If I were a betting man, I had maybe put my money on me going 1-2 in this set of matchups. Certainly not 3-0. But as the games showed, you never know what happens, and Dover is an efficient machine that can get the job done when the opponent stumbles a bit. I think cards that are worth mentioning that stood out. The Pierce was clutch at a certain moment against a force. It's just an all-round card that can surprise the opponent. It's difficult to play around, and I like the hearses. It didn't really show much in these games, but it could have been a deal breaker if you had Murktide draws. It didn't seem like it, but we didn't discuss it either. Yeah, but other than that, you can see our common discussion in his video where we go over the matches. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.